Yeah, and the deals out there, as the kids say, are sick right now. 2024, remaining 2024 is $25,000 off. Whew. Save up to $19,000 on 2024 heavy duties, plus 2024 Jeep Compasses starting at just $34,945. Crazy deals. As the kids say, the deals are slapping out at Southie Mainline Chrysler. Worth the drive every time. 30 minutes north of Regina, the new king of trucks up there. Benny Walchuk in studio, SportsCage studio in town. Did you have to make a Costco run, or what are you doing in town?
I had the dentist too. So
did you?
Yeah, but it wasn't as bad as sounds like Glenn's was. But yeah, quick dentist trip and visit the girlfriend. Get some brownie points up.
No dentists out there in Melville, Yorkton area?
Yeah, but just I got some.
Tough to get in?
Tough to get in, yeah.
Tough to get in.
Yeah. Especially on Christmas Day today here, Orthodox Christmas. So.
Yeah, Ukrainian Christmas Day, you brought that up. It's kind of not being celebrated as much anymore, but it used to be a big deal. Do you ever celebrate pretty heavy?
We did, yeah. And we actually had a little bit of a little one last night for Christmas Eve. So I had some salmon patties and had the shrimp and the meatless dinner last night with pierogies. So.
How about the kutia, the wheat?
Yeah, kutia with a little bit of honey and poppy seed in it.
I used to love that as a kid, and then I don't know where my taste buds went south. And then now when we have it. Usually on traditional Christmas, that Mom will make the kutia, and I'm not a fan. And hey, I used to eat stewed nets too. Yep. That was absolutely weird. SJHL power rankings first. You can go to sportscage.com. If you don't, and always check out the power rankings. No surprise, Melfort's still there.
Yeah, 2 big wins over Malville on the weekend. And give credit to the Millionaires. I know they lost Caden Jury, of course, before Christmas to Brooks. And then their leading scorer, Ryan Rothke, decided not to come back after the Christmas break. So he's playing in the NCDC, which is a little bit slightly lower league, a little bit closer to home for him. So they had trouble scoring. I know 0-0 game until after 2 periods in their first game, and then lost 3-0, gave up a couple power play goals. And a pretty good outing on Saturday night back in Melville. And they had 2 short-ended breakaways that they had a chance to tie things up, were unsuccessful in doing so. So it's a little bit snake bitten for the Millionaires, but full credit to the Melfort Mustangs, I think winners of 17 in a row now. I'm not sure what the modern streak is. I think leading back in the 1980s, I think it was 40 in a row when Prince Albert had those great teams led by Terry Simpson. So still a long ways to go for the Mustangs, but pretty good run there for Trevor Blevin's bunch so far.
Yeah, they are doing something special there. It's funny because I talked about Notre Dame in Kindersley tonight. I was in Kindersley on Saturday for the Regina Pat Blues game, and then talking curling yesterday. That city is going to be overrun here right away, and they are doing it out of the West Central Event Center. So Kindersley, another home game tonight against Notre Dame in the Nutrien division. Melfort is in the Battlefords. Would that be kind of a worth the drive game, or maybe early week?
Early week one, yeah. We got some on the weekend like to touch on, but Battleford playing some pretty good hockey as well. We talked about Marty Smith having the boys going there, so he's usually ready for senior hockey right now. This is not the right time. He's usually getting ready for the EDAM 3 stars, getting ready for their playoff run year, but he's back behind the bench now, and he's doing a good job there in Battlefords.
Yeah, the senior hockey provincials get released Thursday evening, so we'll be talking about that Friday afternoon here as well. Players wise in the league, players of the week, or who do you want to touch on there?
Yeah, Keenan Ingram, of course, a guy that's kind of been around the junior ranks. He was in Weyburn, he was in Kindersley, up in Fort McMurray, but he found a home now with Yorkton, and he had a big week. He had a 4-goal game on Friday against Estevan in their 7-3 win, and then he had a couple more goals against the Malville Millionaires. He had 6 goals, I think, in the 4 games. So he's up to 21 goals in the season, second ranked in the points total, top ranked in the goals total, right around with Jacob Stritzy of the Humboldt Broncos. So it's a guy that's a big body. He shoots like a pro hockey player. He's got a heck of a snapshot, and him and his line mates, Dustin Renus, alongside of Carter Breltz, a Regina product. They've been very, very good for the Yorkton Terriers. So he's been good. Dustin Renus, we talked about him, former Lethbridge Hurricane and one-time Prince Albert Raider. He's been good for the Terriers. So they had maybe a little bit of upper hand on the players of the week because they played 4 games and some teams only play 1 or 2 games. So it's probably an easy one for them, but still hats off to those guys. I know they suffered a loss on Sunday, but playing some good hockey of the Terriers.
What did you hear about, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago, and then going into Christmas, and how the city and town of Assiniboia just really stepped up in helping the Weyburn Red Wings. They're back now. Things look back to normal in Weyburn. What did you hear about that whole story and just how tough that would have been for the organization?
It was. Like we used to give hats off to Assiniboine. I actually selfishly would have wished they would have played that last game in Assiniboine on that Thursday instead of coming back to Weyburn, but I know everybody's ready to get back home and playing for their home crowd, and there's logistics with 50-50 and everything with the Weyburn barn, but hats off to Assiniboine. But it was tough, definitely getting logistic-wise behind the scenes, and the players, though, were welcome with open arms there. Some of the billet families didn't want them to leave in Assiniboine. They fit into their families for a week and a half or 10 days, whatever they were in Assiniboine. But they played some good hockey. Of course, they had a big trade earlier this week. They traded Daza Mitchell, of course, a Regina product. He was two-time goalie of the year finalist, and they traded him to Humboldt for Josh Sale and another goaltender, Ty Manananovich. So it was a big deal for him. But it's now Angelo Zoll's team. Angelo had a great week. He was the goalie of the week in the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. So they kind of basically said, it's your time to shine here, Angelo. And also they free up a 20-year-old spot, maybe possibly for defensive addition or up front as the trade deadline approaches on Friday.
So the deadline is Friday, right? Because the WHL is going Thursday, I think 6 o'clock or 6:30 our time. And then the SJ, that's giving the SJ teams. Is that new this year to kind of give that day?
I think it is, yeah. I think WHL moved back a little bit just to have the Friday open, to have the 9th Thursday and have chance for some players to travel, maybe play on that Friday. So it's always been different times for the SJHL. Sometimes it's been 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, but it's 5 o'clock on Friday to have your trades finalized, and then you have a chance to finalize your roster, your 25-man roster. If you have room with free agents till February 12th, or February 15th, that is. So it's an exciting time for teams to add. I know it's kind of a nervy time for some players, especially if you're on that brink of if we're going for it or we are standing back and rebuilding. So it's always a tense time for junior hockeys and billet families as well.
What have you heard? Have you been in the Ituna, the new rink in Ituna?
I haven't heard, but I've heard really good vibes of it. They've done a good job there. The lobby is pretty nice. It's a little chilly, they said, and I know a lot of guys, or a couple of guys on that Ituna Avalanche team. And
was it last week when it was like minus 30?
Yeah. So, I think they have their grand opening here this weekend. If they don't quote me on that, but I think it's grand opening here this weekend. But it's great. We could say before, a great community there in Ituna, and the Avalanche are playing some pretty good hockey. They had a good game against Cupar, who has a good team in that Prairie Men's Hockey League. So it's they got Justin Hollinger. Of course, Justin played with the Grenfell Spitfires for a number of years, and a few more local guys. So it's a great time if you have a chance to go out there, Ituna, as well.
Coming up January 14th to 19th, Hockey Day in Saskatchewan. Kenora is hosting it. Like that, is that starting to get a buzz, starting big news out there?
It is. I was actually in Kenora last weekend. I watched the Swan Valley Axemen and the Kenora Cobras. Good game there, 2-1 for the Cobras in that one. And just the vibe around the community, it was packed in there. Kenora is a great hockey town. And
really?
They pack, every senior game that they pack there at the Kenora Civic Center. And I actually talked to Stacey Vangen, who is the Kenora Minor Hockey president, earlier today for an interview, and she's excited. She said it's a tense moments right now, kind of the final minute things to get some, but once she gets next week, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, once the week kind of starts, I'm sure she can relax a little bit more. But it's an exciting day. I know I've been a part of it in Belcaris about 6 years ago in 2018, and I have a chance to be broadcasting other Hockey Day in Saskatchewan. It's great for those communities. They have a chance to raise a lot of money, and of course, we got Yorkton Terriers playing Notre Dame there on Saturday. They got the Regina Pack Canadians playing the Yorkton Maulers, so a chance for some person to see Maddox Schultz play live there in Kenora. So it's an exciting time, and of course there's gonna be a battle of the blades, figure skating, with some hockey players and figure skaters going at it with some figure skating. So it's a great time for the town, and hey, they're making some pierogies there for sure right now. I think they started a month ago for some pierogies, so I'm sure that the gala dinner with Marty McSorley and Down Chesley is going to be full of pierogies and cabbage rolls.
That is Friday, January 17th. You can find out all the info, Hockey Day in Sask in Kenora. When I messaged, I think there was just over 100 tickets left for the banquet on Friday night. Like you said, Marty McSorley, Don Chesney, Brandon and I get to MC and host that, and host the round table, the hot stove. And so Brandon's like, I'm like, well, are we gonna prep some questions here? And he's like, Ches is like, jukebox, put the quarter in, and let him go. And then Marty, right? Like, that's gonna be so much fun.
I got Ches coming with me to Dauphin on Tuesday for a road trip because he's still to the Dauphin Kings, so I'm gonna get him primed, tuned up to go for Friday. And actually, Stacey said there's some great prizes. I think there's a Connor Bedard signed jersey, and there's actually a fishing fishing trip with Marty McSorley on the 20th, I think. So that's one of the bigger prizes there for the gala. So some great prizes on hand there for that gala dinner.
That is next Friday, the 17th in Kenora. Come join us. I'm excited especially when you say pierogies are going to be flowing. $75 for a banquet ticket, hockey day in Sask. Benny, thanks so much for coming into studio
That's
today.
Fun. Maybe I should do this more often. A little worth the trip, but
it's nice in here, eh?
It is nice.
It's cozy.
Very nice. Very nice.
It's like a log cabin in here. That is the SJHL report for Southie Mainline Chrysler, the new king of trucks in Southie, Saskatchewan. Worth the drive every time, guaranteed. Time for a break. You're watching the Sports Cage. We're streaming at sportscage.com.